Hey there everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, my ideal setup for mid-2018. Been a couple product releases lately that I'm really excited about that I'm intending on getting here soon. And then just because the tonal shift that I'm trying to have throughout this channel towards greater production quality, there are a couple things that I think I need to add to affect that effectively, to not be too verbiagely redundant. So the first thing I think has to be a tripod with an actual video head. The tripod that I have right now does not have a video head and is functionally useless except as a light stand, which is how I'm using it right now. So tripod with a video head would be great. If that could be as well something that was travel friendly, that would be fantastic. What I've ordered is the Benro Aero 2. So I think I've read a lot of reviews on the Benro tripods and their fluid heads, the S2 through the S6. The S2 through the S6, a lot of people seem, in my opinion, to not understand really how to use those effectively. You have to engage a lot of the lock in order for it to have drag. The problem is that I do have a great little S2 head, but it's on a monopod, so I can't really use that effectively as a fluid head for panning or tilting if I need an actually locked off shot. So that's why I'm going for this tripod. Now I'm also going to add in an S4 head because that's an additional 3-pound weight limit. And I think that that would be fantastic for the next thing that's coming up, which is the SliderOne Pro from Edelkrone, whatever you want to call it. Swedish-based manufacturer that makes some of the best accessories in terms of motion. They make a huge amount of products that are very cool, but largely for myself, not applicable. So what is applicable for me is their SliderOne Pro, and I really am looking forward to get my hands on that. Now what I would do with that is just put the S4 head on top of the tripod and then put the SliderOne Pro on top of the S4 head and then the S2 head on top of the SliderOne Pro. And that way I could then put a camera on top of that and have panning and tilting manually during a slide. Or then I could have just directional control during the slide. So I can control which direction the camera's pointing, which would be great. I would really love one of Benro's little tabletop tripods. They're from Enduro, they're called Baby Grand, and those are the ones that Edelkrone uses in their promotional stuff. But Benro makes similar ones for like half the money, and they're super cool. And I want one for every single camera so I can put cameras on those like for display. But I think I am going to get one just for fun. But the big thing would be the camera, and that is the A7 III. I've expressed a lot of support for that camera across my channel now for a little bit, and I think that I just need to get one. The problem is that most of the way that I use my cameras is for video recording for this. And the A7 III isn't going to be functionally a massive difference from the 6300, the way that I would use it on locked off on a tripod. The color space isn't better. It still would be super sampled the exact same way. I have a 30 f1.4 on it, and I would get the 55 f1.8 for it. So that's largely the same thing. The 55 would just be a little bit tighter than the 30 is because it's a 45 f1.8 equivalent versus 55 f1.8. So thinking about all that, I'm still gonna do it because for stills, for all that kind of stuff, it's gonna make a big difference. And then, you know, adding some nice Samyang Rokinon cine lenses for that increased production value side of things, for B-roll, for stuff like that, I think would make a huge difference. I think I am actually also going to be picking up the Sigma 16 f1.4 here in a minute because that is just a fantastic lens, and that would fulfill that wider angle requirement without having to get it for the full frame system. It's $1 difference between that and the 28 f2, and so I would actually be getting a slightly wider, slightly faster lens with the 16 than with the 28, and then I don't have to switch lenses between the 24 equivalent and the 55. That'll be great for product shots in the hand and all that kind of stuff too. So from there, What's next is lights. I have an Aputure Amaran f7. I have a 528W. I think I'd really like to get into a 672 because the spot daylight version, because I think that would kind of round out my setup a little bit, and that would give me that 3-point lighting. I'm really looking forward to building out my lighting kit more effectively and making content around all that, because lighting is just super critical to making higher end content, for higher production value content. Hey, please go ahead, and if there's something that you feel like I've missed, or that you feel like would be a better solution than what I'm trying to provide for myself in this space, if you think you know better, let me know in the comments down below, right underneath that like button. I think I'm good on the audio front since I got the RodeLink, and the RodeLink is a fantastic solution. I am having to do some audio editing, a little bit more audio editing than I did previously in post, and perhaps that's just because I didn't know better and now I'm like a little bit more obsessive about it. But let me know what you think about the audio quality in the comments down below, because I am trying to deliver something really, really good with that. So yeah, I think that's kind of what my ideal kit looks like. That's obviously a really video-centric kind of thing. They're added in light stands and NPF batteries, 970s or 570s or whatever as necessary. So I think that is pretty video-centric. Most of what I do is video. So when I get that A7 III for stills, I do want that 55 because I am kind of like a 50 mil whore. If we're gonna use the good old Kaiman Wong language, I'm a bokeh whore, I'm a 50 mil whore. But since I do have a bunch of Canon lenses and an MC11 from Sigma, I will be able to adapt some of those over like my 85, so I don't need to spend that extra $600 from Sony, 24-105, so I don't have to spend that extra $1,400 from Sony. I do have a 70-200 and a 50-100 from, that 50-100 is from Sigma, and that 70-200 is Canon F4L IS. I think I'm gonna trade those in because I just never use them. I'd like to get a Samyang 100 f2.8 macro and their 135 f2 because I like that kind of mid-range, but I do actually have this FD mount Canon 135 f3.5 that I really am enjoying, so I might just put all those longer lenses off. And so the key, I think, is just for stills, I mostly entirely shoot either as wide as possible or 50, because I'm most of the time in situations where I can't really push too far in, and when I want to, I have that 135 as an option. It's really lightweight and compact, and it is full frame coverage because it's for film cameras, so I don't think I need to worry about that too much. But then the video side takes up a lot more time and effort, so that's kind of the explanation for that. Long-winded as usual, so thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Let me know if you think that I should check out anything in particular, because I am interested in your suggestions and your comments. So thank you very much. Check out those Amazon affiliate links, and I'll see you in the next one.